The message arrived on a Tuesday. Olivia Wright was working late in her lab at the North American Engineering Institute when her computer screen flashed with an unusual symbol, a spiral galaxy with a ruler and compass overlaid on it. "That's new," she said, pushing her red hair back and adjusting her glasses. She tapped the screen, and a message appeared. "Dr. Olivia Wright of Earth, you have been selected to represent your planet in the Galactic Council of Engineers entrance examination. Please prepare for transport in 3 Earth days." Olivia read the message twice, then a third time. She had heard rumors about the Galactic Council for years. Earth had made contact with alien civilizations 30 years ago, but humans were still considered newcomers to the galactic community. The Council of Engineers was one of the most respected organizations in known space. "They picked me?" she whispered to the empty room. 3 days later, Olivia stood on the transport pad with 2 small bags. One contained personal items. The other held her specialized tools and computer equipment. A tall man with a serious face approached her. "Dr. Wright?" "I'm Sam Porter. I've been assigned as your assistant for this mission." He offered his hand, which Olivia shook firmly. "Nice to meet you, Sam. Have you been briefed on what we're facing?" Sam nodded. "Only the basics. The Council is testing new species for membership. We're competing against 3 alien civilizations. Beyond that, I know as much as you do." A soft hum filled the air, and a ship appeared overhead. It was unlike any Earth vessel, smooth, with no visible engines or windows. A beam of blue light surrounded them, and suddenly they were inside the ship. An alien with blue skin and 4 arms greeted them. "Welcome, Earth representatives. I am Coordinator in Wildtech. We will arrive at Council headquarters in 2 standard cycles." Olivia had met aliens before, but never traveled on their ships. She spent the journey studying the vessel's systems and asking questions about the Council. Wildtech seemed impressed by her curiosity. "Most new species are nervous or reserved," the alien told her. "Humans ask many questions." "That's how we learn," Olivia replied with a smile. The Council headquarters orbited a massive ringed planet. The station was enormous, a spinning wheel of metal and crystal large enough to house millions of beings. As they docked, Olivia felt her heart race with excitement. They were led through wide corridors filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost human. Others resembled nothing Olivia had ever seen, clouds of gas contained in floating spheres, crystalline beings that clicked and sparkled as they moved, creatures that seemed to phase in and out of visibility. Finally, they reached a large chamber where 3 other beings waited. These, Olivia realized, were her competitors. The first was tall and thin, with gray skin that looked like polished stone. Its 4 eyes blinked independently as it studied her. "I engineer convex of the Zinthri," it said. "Our bridges have spanned black holes." The second alien resembled a large insect with multiple segments. When it spoke, its voice came from several parts of its body at once. "We are Buzz Drone 147 of the Vespula Hive. Our collective has built structures that live and grow." The third competitor was strangest of all, a floating crystal formation that glowed with inner light. It did not speak aloud, but Olivia heard its voice in her mind. "I am Crystal Mind Eternal of the Quartix. My people built the cosmic highways before your son was born." Olivia straightened her back. These beings came from civilizations thousands or millions of years older than humanity. She felt small but refused to show it. "I'm Dr. Olivia Wright of Earth. We're new to space travel, but humans have been building since we first picked up stones." Before any of the aliens could respond, a door opened at the far end of the room. A being taller than any Olivia had seen entered. Its skin shifted colors like oil on water, and around its head floated what looked like a crown of small tools. "I am Grand Engineer Zaltarine," the being announced. "Welcome to the Galactic Council testing grounds." The room darkened, and a hologram appeared in the center, a moon orbiting a distant planet. "This is your testing site, the uninhabited moon of Proxima Centauri V," Zaltarine explained. "Each of you will be given identical resource packages. You have one standard galactic month to complete an engineering project of your choosing. You will be judged on efficiency, innovation, and implementation. The Zinthri engineer immediately asked, "What are the required specifications?" Zaltarine's color shifted to a deep blue. "There are none? You choose what to build. We wish to see how different species approach problems." A smaller alien stepped forward, introducing herself as Council Observer Alona. She had 12 eyes, arranged in a circle around her head. "I will visit each site regularly to monitor progress. Remember, this test determines if your species joins the Council. It is a great honor." The competitors were dismissed to prepare. As they left the chamber, Olivia noticed the alien engineers already discussing bridge designs. They seemed focused on spanning a large canyon on the moon's surface. Back in their temporary quarters, Sam looked worried. "Those aliens have technology. Thousands of years beyond ours. How can we compete with them?" Olivia smiled as she unpacked her computer. "They have better technology, but they think inside boxes they don't even know exist." Did you notice how they all immediately decided to build bridges? Isn't that the obvious choice? The moon has that huge canyon ... That's exactly my point, Olivia said, her eyes bright with excitement. They see a gap, they build a bridge. That's one solution. But who says that's the best use of our resources? She activated her holographic display and began drawing rapid sketches in the air. "What are you planning?" Sam asked, watching her hands move quickly through the projection. "The Council wants to see how humans solve problems. So I'll show them." She expanded the display to show a complex network of interconnected systems. "They think too small. If they want to see what humans can do, I'll show them engineering that reshapes worlds. They expect a bridge, and you're going to give them..." Olivia's eyes sparkled with determination. "A fully automated, self-expanding city. Why build one structure when you can create a system that builds thousands?" Sam looked at her with newfound respect. "They have no idea what's coming, do they?" "Nope," Olivia said with a grin. "And that's our advantage." 2 days later, they landed on the moon of Proxima Centauri V. The gravity was lighter than Earth's, and the sky above them was dark with stars, dominated by the massive gas giant the moon orbited. The alien competitors quickly set up their base. Camps near the canyon, their equipment already humming with activity. Olivia chose a flat plain several miles away. As she surveyed the area, Council Observer Alona approached her. "Dr. Wright, may I ask why you've selected this location?" "The other competitors are focusing on the canyon region." Olivia smiled politely. "I have different plans, Observer Alona. I need more space." "Intriguing," the alien replied, her many eyes blinking in sequence. "I look forward to seeing humanity's approach." As the observer walked away, Sam joined Olivia at the edge of their chosen site. "Ready to show the galaxy what humans can do?" he asked. Olivia nodded, looking out over the barren lunar landscape that would soon transform under her vision. "Let's get to work." The first week on the moon passed quickly. Olivia and Sam set up their base camp, a simple dome structure with living quarters, a small lab, and a fabrication unit. From a distance, their setup looked modest compared to their competitors. The Zinthri engineer, Convex, had established an impressive operation. Dozens of floating drones mapped the canyon with laser precision. Robotic arms assembled metal beams that gleamed in the starlight. Everything moved with perfect timing, like a well-rehearsed dance. The Vespulo representative, Drone 147, worked differently. Their living ship had extended organic tendrils into the moon's surface. These grew and hardened into support structures for their bridge. The entire construction seemed to pulse with life. Crystal-Mind-Eternal of the Cortex sat motionless at the canyon's edge, surrounded by a circle of smaller crystals. They appeared to be doing nothing, but occasionally, crystal formations would emerge from the ground as if pulled by invisible forces. Observer Alona visited each site daily. The alien officials nodded with approval at the progress of the three bridge builders. When they came to the human camp, their reactions changed to confusion. "Dr. Wright," said Alona, her 12 eyes blinking in sequence, The other competitors have begun physical construction. May I inquire about your progress? Olivia looked up from her computer where complex simulations ran across the screen. We're in the planning phase, she explained. Building without proper design leads to waste. She gestured to her holographic display. Floating in the air was a detailed model of what looked like a city with buildings, roads, and infrastructure. Systems all connected in a complex web. What is this? Asked Jalona, moving closer to the display. I'm designing an entire automated city that will build itself and continue to evolve after I leave, Olivia said. Why build one bridge when you can create a system that builds thousands of structures as needed? The observer's many eyes widened, but that is beyond the scope of the test. The test was to complete an engineering project with the given resources, Olivia replied calmly. You never specified scale or ambition. Jalona seemed unsettled. No species has attempted such a project in a testing phase before. After the observer left, Sam approached Olivia. They think we're bluffing. Good, Olivia said with a smile. Let's exceed their expectations. For the next 3 days, Olivia and Sam didn't build anything visible. Instead, they worked inside their dome, programming and assembling components. The council members who observed them seemed increasingly skeptical on the morning of the 10th. Day, Convex, the Zinthri engineer, visited their camp. The alien moved with precise steps, its stone-like skin reflecting the light. Engineer Wright, it said formally, I wish to understand your methods. Our records show humans have only had space travel for 3 decades. Yet you claim to build something beyond what even ancient species attempt in these tests. Olivia set down her tools. Different species, different approaches. Humans had to solve complex problems on Earth with limited resources. We learned to think creatively. Convex's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. The Council values precision and proven techniques. Your creativity may not be appreciated. We'll see, Olivia replied. How's your bridge coming along? It will span the canyon with a tolerance of less than 1 micrometer variance, the alien said proudly. No human-built structure could achieve such precision. Impressive, Olivia admitted. But precision isn't everything. After Convex left, Sam looked worried. Maybe we should build something simpler, something they expect. Olivia shook her head. Humans didn't get this far by meeting expectations. We survived because we exceeded them. She pointed to the machine, taking shape in their fabrication unit. Is the seed ready? Final programming now. But Olivia, even if it works perfectly, one machine can't compete with what they're building. One machine is all we need, she said. That's the point they don't understand yet. On the 14th day, a small crowd gathered near the human camp. Word had spread among the council observers that the humans were finally ready to begin construction. Grand Engineer Zaltarine himself came to witness the event. Olivia and Sam rolled out a single machine the size of a small bus. It had treads for movement, multiple mechanical arms, and a central processing unit that glowed with soft blue light. This is all? Asked Zaltarine, unable to hide his disappointment. His skin shifted to a dull gray color. The other competitors have completed 20% of their bridges already. This is SEED, Olivia explained. Self-expanding environmental development. It's not just a construction machine. It's the first citizen of our new city. She approached a control panel and entered a final command. The machine hummed to life, its arms extending as it moved forward onto the lunar surface. It began to dig, extracting material from the ground. Internal lights flashed as it processed the raw materials. The seed uses local resources, Olivia explained as the council members watched. It converts lunar regolith into usable building materials. It can create metal alloys, glass, ceramics, and polymer compounds. A clever recycling system, admitted one council member. But still just one machine, Olivia smiled. Watch. After processing enough material, the seed began to assemble something. Its arms moved quickly, connecting components and laying down foundations. Within an hour, it had created a smaller version of itself, The new machine activated immediately and began the same process as its parent. The original seed moved to a different location and started constructing something else, what looked like a power generation station. Each new unit follows the master blueprint, Olivia explained to the stunned observers. They communicate with each other to coordinate their efforts. The first wave builds more seeds and basic infrastructure. The second wave will create transportation networks. The third will build actual structures. By evening, there were 8 seed units working across the plain, each one building either another machine or a piece of infrastructure. A small power station had been completed and was providing energy to the growing Operation Grand. Engineer Zaltarine's skin had shifted to a bright yellow color. This is unexpected. You are not building a structure. You are building a system that builds structures. Exactly, Olivia said. Humans don't just solve the problem in front of us. We create solutions that solve future problems too. As night fell on the lunar surface, the lights from the growing human project illuminated the area. From their base camp, Olivia and Sam watched the seed units continue working through the darkness, their movements coordinated like a colony of ants building a massive nest. How many units will there be by morning? Asked Sam. Olivia checked her computer. At the current replication rate, 32. By the end of the week, over 1,000 after that. She smiled. After that, even I can't predict exactly what our city will look like. The system will start making its own optimization decisions. Sam looked concerned. Is that safe? I've built in core parameters and ethical guidelines. It can expand beyond the habitable zone, and it prioritizes sustainability and efficiency. She looked out at the machines working in the darkness. But yes, there's an element of unpredictability. That's what makes it human. In the distance, the alien bridges took shape across the canyon, each one a marvel of engineering in its own way. But all eyes at the council were now on the growing network of lights spreading across the lunar plain, where human ingenuity was taking a form no one had anticipated. By the middle of the third week, the moon's surface had changed dramatically. The 3 alien bridges were now clearly visible from orbit, each one a testament to its creator's civilization. The Zinthri Bridge stretched across the canyon in a perfect straight line. Its metal surface gleamed like a mirror, reflecting the stars above. Convex had built support structures that were so precise they could withstand massive weight without bending even a millimeter. The Vespula Bridge looked more like a living thing than a structure. It curved and twisted, following the natural shape of the canyon. Parts of it pulsed with a soft green light. When small meteors struck it, the damage healed itself within hours as the organic materials regrew. The Cortex creation was perhaps the most beautiful. Crystal Mind Eternal had somehow grown crystal pillars from both sides of the canyon until they met in the middle. The bridge caught the light and broke it into thousands of colors that danced across the lunar surface, but it was the human project that drew the most attention. What had started as a single machine had become a network of thousands. The seed units had spread across the plain, building more of themselves and constructing the beginnings of a city. Observer Gialona visited Olivia and Sam daily now, her 12 eyes constantly moving as she tried to track all the activity. Your machines work without rest, she noted on her 18th day visit. Olivia nodded. They don't need sleep or food. They extract everything they need from the moon itself. The council is concerned about the scale of your project, Gialona admitted. Some feel it exceeds the resource limits of the test. Sam looked up from his computer. We're using exactly what we were given. The seeds are just more efficient at using those resources. And at finding new ones, Olivia added. The deeper units have discovered ice beneath the surface. They're extracting it for water and hydrogen. Gialona's eyes blinked rapidly. You found water? The council was unaware of water on this moon. The initial surveys missed it. It's deep down. Olivia pulled up a scan on her display. The city is now adapting its plans to include water recycling systems. Adapting? You mean you are changing the design? No, the system is changing its own design based on new information, Olivia explained. That's what makes it special. It learns and improves itself. After the observer left, Sam looked troubled. They don't seem happy about our progress. They're surprised, Olivia said. Maybe a little worried. They expected humans to build something simple, to stay in our place as newcomers. Instead, we're changing the rules. That afternoon, they received word that the Grand Engineer Zoltarine wanted to tour their project personally. Olivia suggested they meet him at the edge of what was now being called Zone 1, the first completed section of the city. When Zoltarine arrived, his skin was shifting through shades of blue and purple, a sign of strong emotion, Olivia had learned. 2 other council members accompanied him. Dr. Wright, the Grand Engineer said, your project has created quite a stir among the council. Some are impressed. Others are ... concerned. I hope to address those concerns during our tour, Olivia replied politely. She gestured to a small vehicle that had pulled up beside them, a transport built by the Seeds just the day before. Shall we? The vehicle moved smoothly through the growing city. The council members watched as machines of various sizes constructed buildings, laid down roads, and installed power systems. Some areas were already complete, with structures that looked ready for inhabitants. The central district will house the main control systems, Olivia explained as they passed a tall building with curved walls. Though each section can function independently if needed. How many of these machines have you created? Asked one of the council members. Sam checked his tablet. Currently 4,782 active units of various types. They're specialized now, some for mining, some for construction, some for maintenance. And what happens when the test ends? Asked Zoltarine. Will you deactivate them? That wouldn't be necessary, Olivia said. The city is programmed to sustain itself. It could serve as a base for future lunar colonies or as a research station. For the council, Zoltarine's color shifted to a deep red. You built something permanent? Isn't that better than temporary? Olivia asked. The bridges will stand for centuries, perhaps. This city could grow and adapt for thousands of years. The tour continued to a section where the ground had been covered with transparent domes. Inside, plants were growing in carefully maintained soil. You've created an ecosystem, one council member noted with surprise. Food production, Sam explained. The city doesn't just build structures. It creates systems to support life. As they rounded a corner, they saw 3 seed units constructing what looked like a small cafe with outdoor seating that overlooked a newly formed plaza. Why would machines build a cafe? Asked Zoltarine. Olivia smiled. Because humans would want one. The city isn't just for machines, it's designed for people to live in. The system anticipates human needs. The council members exchanged glances. This was clearly beyond what they had expected from the test. That evening, as the tour ended, Grand Engineer Zoltarine stood at the edge of the growing city and looked out over the lighted structures that now spread across several square miles of lunar surface. In 300 cycles of these tests, we have never seen anything like this, he admitted. Your approach is ... unconventional. Humans often are, Olivia said. We had to be to survive on Earth. The other competitors have completed their bridges, Zoltarine noted. Their projects are finished. Yours seems to have no endpoint. That's the difference in our thinking, Olivia explained. They see engineering as building structures. We see it as creating systems that continue to build and improve themselves. As if to emphasize her point, a new section of the city lit up in the distance as power came online to another district. How much will it grow? Asked Zoltarine. It's programmed to stay within the habitable zone of the moon, about 20% of the surface, Olivia said. Beyond that, it's limited only by available resources and the core programming I gave it, which includes do no harm, use resources efficiently, adapt to new information, create beauty along with function. She looked at the Grand Engineer, the same principles that good engineers everywhere follow. Zoltarine's color shifted to a gentle gold, a sign of respect Olivia had learned. Indeed, Dr. Wright, perhaps. Humans understand the true spirit of engineering better than some who have practiced it for millennia. As the council members departed, Sam joined Olivia at the observation point overlooking the growing city. "They're impressed," he said. "But do you think they'll accept our approach? It's so different from what they expected." Olivia watched as new lights blinked on across the lunar landscape, each one representing another small step in the city's growth. "They'll have to decide what they value more," she said. "The perfect execution of an expected solution or the imagination to create something new?" In the distance, a group of seed units began laying the foundation for what would become a central park, a place of beauty in the midst of the functional city. "Either way," Olivia said with quiet pride, "we've shown them what humans can do." As the fourth week began, a sense of tension filled the air. The alien competitors had completed their bridges ahead of schedule and were now making final adjustments and improvements. Meanwhile, the human city continued to grow at an ever-increasing rate. Olivia and Sam received a message that all competitors were invited to view each other's projects. This was unusual. Normally, contestants worked in isolation until final judging. "They want us to see the bridges," Sam said as they prepared for the tour. "And they want the others to see what we've built." "It makes sense," Olivia replied. "Our approach is so different that they probably want everyone to understand what they're being compared against." The tour began at the Zinthri Bridge. Up close, it was even more impressive than it appeared from a distance. The surface was so smooth it felt like glass under their feet. Every joint and connection was perfectly aligned. Convex stood proudly beside his creation. "The bridge can support 10,000 tons, the Zinthri engineer explained. "The stress distribution system ensures zero vibration even under maximum load. The metal alloy resists all forms of corrosion and cosmic radiation." Olivia studied the structure with genuine admiration. "The precision is remarkable. How long would it take to build something like this on a larger scale?" "With proper resources. A bridge 10 times this size would require approximately 5 standard years," Convex replied. "Each component must be perfect before assembly." Next, they visited the Vespula Bridge. Close up, they could see that the surface seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting slightly with a rhythm like a heartbeat. Buzz Drone 147 hovered above the group, their segmented body catching the light. "Our bridge is alive," the Vespula explained, their multiple voices creating an unusual harmony. "It draws nutrients from the soil and energy from starlight. It can repair damage, adapt to changing conditions, and even grow stronger over time." "How long does it live?" asked Olivia. "With proper care, structures like this can survive for thousands of years," Buzz Drone 147 replied. "When they eventually die, they decompose and provide nutrients for new growth." The Cortex Bridge was last among the alien creations. Crystal Mind Eternal floated silently as the group walked across the crystalline surface. The bridge hummed with a soft tone that changed as they moved. "The crystals are aligned with the moon's natural energy fields," the mental voice of the Cortex explained in their minds. "They strengthen the ground beneath and create harmonics that prevent stress fractures in the canyon walls. The bridge becomes stronger as the moon orbits, absorbing and redirecting gravitational forces." Sam looked down through the transparent crystal surface to the deep canyon below. "It's beautiful and functional at the same time." "Beauty and function are not separate concepts," Crystal Mind Eternal replied. "One enhances the other." Finally, the group arrived at the human project. In the week since Zoltarine's visit, the city had expanded dramatically. It now covered nearly 10 square miles of lunar surface. Roads connected different districts. Domed gardens were visible in several locations. Tall towers rose in the central area, catching the light of the distant sun. The alien engineers stopped. At the edge of the city, their expressions showing various forms of surprise and confusion. "This is excessive," Convex said finally. "The test required a single engineering project, not an entire settlement." Olivia smiled. "This is a single project, a self-building city. Every structure you see is connected to the same system. She led them to a viewing platform that overlooked the central district. From this height, they could see the organized pattern of the city's layout. Roads spread out like spokes from the center. Green spaces were placed at regular intervals. Energy collection systems captured sunlight and converted it to power. The city now has 5 distinct districts, Olivia explained. Industrial zones for manufacturing, residential areas for future inhabitants, agricultural domes for food production, energy sectors for power generation, and central control systems to coordinate everything. How many of your machines are now active? Asked Buzz-Drone-147. Sam checked his tablet. Just over 8,000 units. They're specialized by function now: builders, maintainers, miners, transporters, and central coordinators. Crystal Mind Eternal's mental voice seemed troubled. You have created an artificial hive mind, a collective intelligence that builds without direct control. Not exactly, Olivia corrected. The system follows core programming and adapts within those parameters. It's more like a complex organism than a hive mind. Each part knows its function, but the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. As they walked through the city, the alien engineers noticed details they hadn't expected. Art installations decorated some of the plazas. Music played softly in certain areas. One building had been constructed with no apparent practical purpose. It simply offered a beautiful view of the stars. Why would machines build these things? Asked Convex. Because they're programmed to create a city for humans, not just for efficiency, Olivia explained. People need beauty and comfort as much as they need shelter and function. Near the center of the city, they came to a building with an open front and tables set outside. The smell of fresh coffee filled the air. Is that? Sam began, his eyes wide with surprise. A café, Olivia confirmed. Complete with coffee plants from the agricultural dome and a brewing system. She turned to the alien engineers. Would anyone like to try some? The aliens hesitated, then followed Olivia and Sam to the tables. Robotic servers brought cups of steaming coffee. As they sat there, surrounded by the buzz of construction, the strangeness of the scene struck them all. 4 different species from across the galaxy, sitting at a cafe on a moon that had been barren just weeks before. In 3 days, the council will make their final decision, said Buzz-Drone-147, breaking the silence. They must choose between very different approaches to engineering, Convex nodded. Our bridges are complete. They achieve exactly what they were designed to do with perfect efficiency and precision. While your city, Crystal Mind Eternal's mental voice trailed off, is still growing, Olivia finished the thought, and will continue to grow after we're gone. That's the point. Good engineering doesn't just solve today's problem, it creates solutions that evolve with future needs. As the alien engineers departed, Sam and Olivia remained at the cafe, watching the city continue to build itself around them. Do you think they understand what we've done here? Sam asked. Olivia sipped her coffee and looked out at the towers rising in the distance. I think they're beginning to. The question is whether they value it or fear it. A small maintenance robot rolled past their table, stopping to adjust a light fixture before continuing on its programmed path. In the sky above, the gas giant that the moon orbited filled half the horizon, its swirling colors creating a breathtaking backdrop to humanity's newest outpost. Either way, Olivia said, we've built something remarkable. The final day of the competition arrived. All 4 competitors were called to the Council's orbital platform for the judgment ceremony. The platform hung in space above the moon, offering a clear view of all the projects below. Olivia and Sam arrived wearing their best clothes. They had worked through the night, making final adjustments to the city's core programming. Olivia felt tired but proud as they entered the grand chamber where the council awaited. The chamber was circular, with seats rising in tiers around a central area. Council members from dozens of species filled the seats, their varied forms creating a living mosaic of galactic diversity. At the center stood a raised platform where Grand Engineer Zaltarine waited. The alien competitors were already present. Convex stood straight and tall, confidence visible in his 4-eyed gaze. Buzz-Drone 147 hovered slightly above the floor, their segmented body humming with quiet energy. Crystal Mind Eternal floated in silent dignity, the inner light of their crystalline form pulsing gently. "The Galactic Council of Engineers welcomes all competitors," Zaltarine announced, his voice carrying throughout the chamber. "Today we conclude the entrance examination and announce our judgment." The lights dimmed, and a large holographic display appeared above the central platform. It showed the moon's surface from orbit, with each project clearly visible. The 3 bridges spanned the Great Canyon like delicate threads. The human city spread across the plain like a growing web of light. Each competitor was given identical resources and 1 standard month to complete an engineering project of their choosing. Zaltarine continued. "We will now review each submission." The display zoomed in on the Zinthari Bridge. Images of its perfect structural elements and flawless connections appeared alongside. Data showing its load capacity and material strength. Engineer Convex of Zinthari has created a bridge of unprecedented precision, said Zaltarine. Every component is perfect to the atomic level. The stress distribution system ensures stability under all conditions. The design represents the highest achievement of precision engineering. The Zinthari engineer bowed slightly, accepting the praise with dignity. Next, the display shifted to show the Vespula Bridge. Close-up images revealed the living tissue of its structure and the organic ways it had bonded with the moon's surface. Engineer, Buzz Drone 147 of the Vespula Hive has grown a living bridge that integrates perfectly with its environment, Zaltarine explained. It can heal damage, adapt to changing conditions, and strengthen itself over time. The design represents a harmonious blend of technology and biology. The Vespula segments shifted in a pattern that Olivia recognized as a sign of pride. The display then moved to the Cortex Bridge. Sensors showed the energy flows through its crystalline structure and the way it reinforced the canyon walls. Engineer, Crystal Mind Eternal of the Cortex has created a bridge that exists in perfect harmony with the natural forces of the moon, said Zaltarine. It channels energy, strengthens its surroundings, and creates beauty through function. The design represents a deep understanding of cosmic harmony. The crystal being glowed brighter for a moment, acknowledging the recognition. Finally, the display shifted to show the human city. The view zoomed out to reveal its full extent, which now covered nearly 15 square miles. Data scrolled alongside, showing the number of structures, the power generation capacity, the agricultural output, and the continued growth projections. Dr. Olivia Wright of Earth has created... Zaltarine paused, seeming to search for the right words. Something entirely unexpected. Not a single structure, but a self-replicating system that builds an entire city. It mines resources, generates power, produces food, and continues to grow and adapt without direct control. The design represents a fundamentally different approach to engineering challenges. Murmurs spread through the chamber as council members discussed among themselves. Some sounded impressed, others concerned. Olivia stood tall, her face calm despite her racing heart. After allowing the discussion to continue for several minutes, Zaltarine raised his hands for silence. The bridges created by the Zinthari Vespula and Cortex representatives are magnificent achievements, he announced. Each one demonstrates mastery of engineering principles developed over thousands of years. They meet or exceed all technical expectations of this test. The alien engineers stood proudly, each certain that their creation would be judged superior. However, Zaltarine continued, his skin shifting to a deep purple color, the purpose of this test was not merely to evaluate technical skill, but to identify civilizations that bring new perspectives to galactic engineering. We seek not just those who can build well, but those who can think in ways we have not considered. He turned to face Olivia directly. Engineer Wright's solution demonstrates a fundamental difference in approach. Not simply building a structure, but creating systems that build structures. Not just solving the immediate problem, but developing solutions that continue to solve future problems. Not merely using resources efficiently, but creating new resources from what others might overlook. The chamber grew completely silent as Alterine's words sank in. Humans solve problems differently than any species we have encountered in many centuries, he said. Your civilization is young, sometimes impetuous, and occasionally reckless, but you possess vision and creativity that older species would do well to remember. He raised his hands in a formal gesture. The Council welcomes Earth to the Galactic Engineering Collective as our newest member. Applause erupted from many of the Council members. Olivia felt a wave of relief and pride wash over her. Sam gripped her arm in excitement. After the ceremony, the alien competitors approached her. Convex spoke first. Your methods are unorthodox, the Zinthri engineer said, but effective. I would be interested in learning more about human adaptive systems. Buzz Drone 147 hovered closer. The Hive recognizes the value of your approach. Perhaps our living structures and your self-building systems could be combined in future projects. Even Crystal Mind Eternal seemed impressed. Your city sings with possibility, came the mental voice. It has a harmony we did not expect from such a young species. As they prepared to return to their ship, Olivia and Sam stood at the viewing window for one last look at the city below. From orbit, it glowed like a constellation of stars against the dark lunar surface. New sections were visibly taking shape even as they watched. What will happen to it? Sam asked. Now that the test is over. The Council has decided to maintain it as a research station, Olivia replied, and as a monument to human engineering. They're calling it New Providence, the first human outpost beyond our solar system, Sam smiled. Not bad for a species that was throwing spears at each other just a few thousand years ago. Olivia watched as New Providence continued to grow on the moon below. Roads extended outward like reaching fingers. Domes rose to create new living spaces. Power networks spread like delicate webs connecting everything together. We've always been builders, she said quietly. The difference is we never know when to stop. As their ship prepared for departure, Olivia took one last look at the growing city, a piece of humanity that would continue to build and evolve long after she was gone. In creating it, she had not just earned Earth a place in the Galactic Council. She had shown the stars what humans could dream and build when given the chance, and this, she knew, was just the beginning.